You can see the Cornell babies have a long way to go yet. Okay, so I'm going to put the battery here on the railing. And did you get some nice photographs?
Yeah, the lighting's not great.
Yeah, I know. It's funny, it's just a real short window of time when the lighting's good,
Right.
you know, and then in the afternoon the bridge blocks it and the buttresses and stuff like that.
So mine's picked by the mother.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually pretty sheltered. This thing here acts as a pretty good deflector of the wind coming up the gorge.
Has it been the exact same spot every year?
Pardon me?
Has it been the exact same spot every year?
Yeah, I think it's been here for 3 years. Getting all the nests confused. I think it's 3 years at least, maybe longer. They always have 2 chicks. And I'm hoping to actually see them fledge this year. We've been mostly focused on the Cornell nest, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Where
exactly.
is it? I coached across the Cornell.
So do you know where Weil Hall is? The big white building
Yes.
there? Yeah. So right next to Tower Road. So the Tower Road end of Weil, there's the athletic fields there. You know how there's a walkway in front of Weil and it's got the whole row of Korean lilacs and stuff like that?
So alumni fields and the grass.
Yeah. So right at the corner where the corner of the fencing there at the field, right at the end of the lilacs on the Tower Road end, next to the parking lot, there's a light tower there,
Okay.
and that's where the nest is. They're right up there.
So that's like the spring football field, I think.
Yeah, I was walking on it this morning, and it was pretty rugged, but you know. So it's not one of the actual sort of managed athletic fields. But it's a northwest corner of that area there.
It's fun. I mean, when we're in Chocoff for practice, we see them surfing all the time.
Oh yeah,
The
well-
west stands, they like to land
up in the crescent.
No,
Yeah.
actually the west stands.
On the west end, up on the light announcer's box. Yeah, there's some pigeons up there, and she likes to snipe them up there. Last year, I think it was the hockey team was out one morning running laps back and forth, and ultimately all 3 of the juveniles wound up there at that end, and one sat on the flagpole, and the other 2 took turns ripping a pigeon to shreds in the end zone. And so the hockey players were like just lined up there, maybe 20 yards away from her and running back and forth, and she was just in there ripping this pigeon, and there's pigeon feathers everywhere all over the end zone.
I'm sure Coach Howley, who was probably with him at the time, the strength and conditioning coach, was loving it.
Probably. You either gotta embrace it or not, one way or the other.
Oh, he would embrace it.
See that hawk? That's a motivation. I'm sorry.
So does the father also help out at all, or is it only the mother?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, so what happens is that when they're incubating, then generally the father will bring, especially with a younger pair, the father will bring most of the food to the female and stuff like that. and these guys are 8 days older than the Cornell Hawks. So we do the math, I guess. Today's the 1st. So maybe today, between today and the 3rd of June, they'll probably, and they were born within 18 hours of each other. Yeah, he's walking.
Does the mother choose that location for the nest because it's not too far off from the ground and it's away from the sun? Like, is there a strategic reason?
Yeah, I mean, basically away from predators. That, you know, it's got to be a territory that they can hold. You know what I mean? And as far as like the actual exact location, most red-tailed hawks have their nests in deciduous trees. You know, like a tall oak or something like that. Cornell hawks have put their nests on top of the light tower. What sound is that? That must be just a bird in the tree. Yeah. So yes, they will. They'll typically have it in a tree, but out west they will put them on cliffs. Typically, you'll find a peregrine falcon will be on a cliff. They will scrape out just an area and yeah. Bye. So Laura just got on with us, and she thinks that the one at the lower left is a male, and the one on top is top right is a female.
Are you counting four stripes on that tail? I mean, that's one heck of a fledgling.
That's one heck of a tail, isn't it?
That's one heck of a tail, but one heck of a leg.
I know. Is it the first time you've seen him here?
No.
Okay,
No.
but I know there's nothing there. It's like.
No, last year I never came when they were this big, though.
Yeah,
They
I
were
know.
only-
Me neither.
You know,
I've-
and Sully and I were here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I did not see them.
And that tail is huge.
It's
phenomenal.
enormous. It is amazing.
And how many do they have before they go? Like 5? Or is it 4?
I don't know. Laura thinks that they will go by, based on feather development, by the end of the week. So, Friday or the weekend.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah. And
Came out now?
yeah, and she was thinking they were only 5 days older than the Cornell Hawks, but I'm pretty sure they were.
Tail is,
I think they're 8 days older because we have footage of the day they were hatched.
yeah.
That weekend, and then it was 8 days until E1 or E2 came out of the egg.
Their heads are totally dark.
Yeah,
And then
they got a lot of bands. Are you counting 4 or 5 bands?
wow, the one in the nest. I think it's almost 5.
Yeah.
I can't hold my binoculars still enough, and I can only see through one eye.
Well, there's some footage earlier on where one of them has its wings spread,
Yeah.
and we'll dial in on these guys. The heads are almost completely feathered. Are you going to sit down on us now? Okay, enough sitting. That's a portrait, isn't it? Got a lot of banding on that tail. Sunlight and shadow. So earlier on we had some nice flapping from these kids, and Mom was on a pine tree down the river on the other side of the bridge for quite a while, probably about an hour almost, and kids were down exploring the boundaries of the nest earlier, and they were doing quite a bit of flapping. You'll see their beautiful tails. So these guys are 8 days older than the Cornell Hawks, and they'll be going this week sometime, I'm guessing, and they're pretty spectacular. All right, so we're gonna say goodbye to these beauties and head on back to the house and get some other stuff done. We just wish you guys all a nice rest of the Sunday, beautiful day. I hope you have a nice weather where you are, and we'll be seeing you.